Complete new video
Yeah,
or new?
new
Okay.
always. Okay, now we are back. Sorry about this. There is some timing, I guess, that how long this picture always stays, and then some reason it's cuts. But anyway, we are
Yes.
going to do end this live. So where were we, Mandy? You were saying something.
Yeah, just saying how if we could understand that if we were given that day of when we're completely healed or when we're super close to it on the other side, or just not comparing symptoms and just understanding instead of looking this as like, oh my gosh, I feel terrible all the time, looking at it as like you're giving your body the opportunity to heal and you're in the middle of healing, like how awesome that is. Even though you have symptoms and you feel bad, those symptoms are there for a reason. It's all about healing. Like, I guess just turning the perspective around. And I
Mm-hmm.
understand when it's really intense and hard. And those days it's not as easy. And now that I'm feeling better, it's a little bit easier for me to say that, obviously. But um, those days when it's really hard, just getting through the day, just saying to yourself it's okay to not feel okay and just eating and drinking water and
Yeah, the basic
getting through
needs.
the dang day, basic needs. Yeah. And because I tell you what, being out here at my mom's and going through what I went through in November and December and feeling just like an empty shell of a person, and then now just this last week going to restaurants again and enjoying yummy food, even though I'm still eating fairly healthy, but I'm not eating breads and things like that because I just don't feel like. I think one day I'll be able to have bread again and sugar. I just choose to not. But I'm having so much more food freedom than I was because I was doing strict carnivore for a year, thinking that that was going to help me heal faster. But
Yeah.
um, my brain's happy to get that extra little dopamine from the fun food. And like, but the thing is, when I was in the wave and I was out here last time, like I said, I could barely even go to the store with my mom. And
Mm-hmm.
now, I mean, what's interesting too is like her seeing the difference in me and seeing the way that I was. And like just the other day, I had a headache really bad and that didn't even bother me. I had a headache for like 2 or 3 days. And only one day I took a painkiller because I
Yeah.
try not to take many of those. But I allowed myself one day and I was just like, yeah, I have a headache, like whatever. And I was kind of complaining, like, oh my gosh, mom, a headache. And but we still went out to eat and we still had fun. Kind of what we were talking about before. Like you get invited to something, you want to do it, it distracts you.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people will say, "Oh, well, how do you know if what's not life and what's just withdrawal and what's life?"
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yep.
life isn't perfect. Because that's a real big one when people are like, I'll tell
Yeah.
people, "Oh, I'm not 100% yet." And they're like, "Well, Mandy, life isn't 100%."
Yeah,
And
that's
it's like,
common
"Oh,
life. Like, no, this
that's
is
common
different.
sense." Exactly. Like that's is all it takes is somebody inviting you. So when you're more recovered, you might still be healing, but all it takes is someone to call you up and invite you out or to take you like if my husband were to say, Mandy, let's go take a trip to Mexico right now. I'd be like, okay, like I'd be like, oh, what am I going to pack? What am I going to wear? But I would literally be able to be on a plane. I
Yeah.
might feel a little bit kind of excited and nervous a little bit, but that's the way I was on caffeine. Like I'm starting to be a lot like the way I was on caffeine. Like I
Yep.
did have a little apprehension about things and I would get that kind of frozen if I was somewhere and start thinking in my head and he'd be like, Mandy, where are you? And I'd be like, oh yeah, because I was
Yeah.
the anxiety. I just didn't know what it was. But the difference of like me just being able to go now and want to go and be excited about it compared to the way I was in this healing, when the symptoms were really intense because of healing. Those are just healing symptoms, but still, I wasn't even able barely to walk down the
Yeah.
street here at my mom's to go to the mailbox. I just couldn't
Yeah.
do it. I didn't have the motivate. I didn't physically or mentally. So just to see that difference, it's huge. Like you cannot tell me that this isn't healing, that this isn't getting better, that this isn't the way that it goes, that the way that post acute withdrawal happens, that the way our brain heals.
Yeah.
And to say that it's something else, or like, you just can't tell me that anymore, because we're going through it. We're experiencing it for ourselves. Like, there's no question about it.
Yeah, and I also wanted to say that if somebody like looks very functional, and it doesn't mean that she's still going or he's still going through symptoms, because like every person goes through this withdrawal, post-acute withdrawal journey and withdrawal journey different way. Like in my first year, I was doing a lot of exercise. I was even traveling to places, being totally fucked up, having so much high adrenaline, cortisol, didn't understand stuff. I was just trying to live life like before. I didn't go doctors. I was just confused. I was thinking that I have an intensive brain tumor, but I was trying to do stuff like how I did it. Maybe because high adrenaline, cortisol, I was so much energy like that, not good energy, the anxiousness,
Yeah.
anxiety.
Yeah.
And the second year, it was just like more. I was just more very down, like low, fatigued, depressed,
Yeah.
and also having these weird brain symptoms. But that's how, like, if you look someone and she's going through that, it can look very different for the different person. Like some people, they give, like they have to be action, they do stuff even with they are fucked up, and then some people, they don't do anything. Like it's,
Exactly.
and it
Yeah.
can change, like it can change that. Sometimes it can be that you are very functional, or you do stuff, but then the depression comes, kind of, and the anhedonia
Yeah.
comes, and you kind of just can't do stuff. So
Yeah. And you
sort of
just have to get out of the way and let the brain and body do its thing. And yeah, we'll
yeah.
question it. And, oh my goodness, is this
Mm.
something else? And you can't believe it. But I think that that's what we're spreading awareness about, is that no, it's we're experiencing it, or we have experienced it. And we're doing so much better. And then you have moments where, oh my goodness, it's back. It's not back. It's just that it's part of the healing. It's part of the process. It is a journey. It is a process. Like, we got to get all that,
Yep.
we got to get all that in there to understand that. And it's hard though when you're going through it, when it's intense, because it's the lie. But we know deep down that's what we get through. But we're kicking and screaming those hard days, but we get through. You get through kicking and
Yes.
screaming. We figure out how to how to do it.
Yep.
And thank goodness for the support, because it's hard enough, without it. It's hard enough with it. But
Yeah.
who knows? We might have been stuck. If I didn't know any better, I would have been put on an anti-anxiety medication,
Yeah.
or gotten put in a mental hospital and gotten put on 3 or 4 different medications and stuck there. And that does happen to a lot of people. And I guess it was just me quitting, like, the relapsing and going through what I've been through for so long. And then understanding that it was something to do with hormones. Like, I knew that my hormones were off, not off, but that the way that the caffeine, and if you do read Caffeine Blues, you understand that how it affects it. And then, like, when you quit, and the nervous system and all the other systems are talking to each other and healing. And it's just really amazing. It's amazing to be off of it and to be healing from it all. It really is.
Yes. And I think today, like, we're gonna like end this live now, like for this positive vibe that we have, and in the future we're gonna also do a little bit more those, that we can give you a little bit more science and stuff. But I think this was like something that we really wanted to do today, because many of you who are watching this,
Yeah.
you need to know is that you get better and you have that reassurance. So it can be tiring to to get even too much of this, and like just go away
Yeah.
from the YouTube and to do whatever. But like, I hope this helps you to know that there is other people going through all the same stuff that you are experiencing, and we are doing
Yes. And
good.
Andy, you had, yeah, one of your last videos when you did all your symptoms. I want to, if you would
Yeah.
like that, I could do mine, which were very
Yes.
similar. I just about every one you
Yes.
had, I was like, yes, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot about that, or forgot about a few of
Yes,
them.
we have to, and we have to write them down, and it would be nice that maybe if we could do live, or that you shared all your symptoms. That could be also maybe
Yes,
helpful.
I could do that, and then we could talk about other stuff. But yeah, today we just wanted to talk about how. I mean, I've just been feeling so good this last week and a half, and it's amazing. And I wanted to share that and give that hope,
Yes.
and it gets better. It really
Yes.
does.
Yes, it does. So, guys, enjoy your evening or day or morning, whatever time there is it is, and just keep going. Like I always said, simple stuff. You don't need to be productive every day, and not being the normal. It's okay now. It's okay. So,
Exactly. It really is.
do you wanna say
Just let
some?
your brain heal. Let it do its thing.
Yes. So
Yeah.
thank you all,
Just
and
let it do its thing, and
yeah, and
thank
thank you,
you.
Mandy. You are amazing, and we all love you. And okay,